Hi everyone, we have a special guest today. Yes, we got Lucy here. She's stressing out. There she is. I need a dog treat to put up here so that she'd come look there. So I'm trying to do more face-to-face, and what's that on the wall? Is that just, oh, that's on my screen. So I'm just, oh, hi Laura, good to see you. We got little Lulu here. And we're going to be doing some negative painting after we do gel print. Hi Dar, hi Jen. Yeah, I wonder how long she'll stay. Right now she's on my lap and I'm petting her. Hi Dee Dee. Lucy, say hi to Dee Dee. Hi Dee Dee. Today I'm going to start off showing an organizational thing, and then we'll get to the jelly plate and we're going to do some negative painting. I used to call it reverse painting, but then I found out reverse painting is when you paint on glass and you paint backwards. So negative painting is when you paint around to create your shape. So that's what we're going to do today. So what I'm going to show you guys is how I organized my Languo. It's reversed for you. My Languo pens that I got on Amazon Prime Day. Lucy's in the studio. She's in the house. So what I did first was I swatched them all. And I also swatched them onto some labels. So I swatched them like Dee Dee had shown that they're water reactive. So I kind of swatched them on a label like that, and then I used my water pen to like smush them, to spread them out. And then I made these little pieces to put on each cap. Lucy wants to get down. I'm going to put her beside me. You going to stay there, Lulu? You going to stay? So I put them on the ends of the caps, the end of the pen. Excuse me. And then what I did was I used just Scotch tape to seal that in. I had to cut the Scotch tape in half. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Linda. And then I thought, well, I want to store them so I can see them all. So I went shopping and I went to the dollar store, and no, actually this was at Michael's. It was in the sales section at Michael's. It's one of those totes and it has 6 compartments. So what I ended up doing is I did the by color family. So I've got sort of yellows, pinks and reds, purples and blues, greens, and then neutrals and browns. And then the last one I put black and white and gray. And then I thought this would be a good spot to put pens that I'm using in a coloring book page or whatever I'm doing, to keep them separate and know which colors that I've been using. So yeah, so I got that little tote, and I can bring it down if I'm coloring downstairs. Lucy's trying to get out of, she's trying to get out of here now. She's like, who are you talking to? Come here, Lucy. Come on up. Oh yeah, I'm gonna let her out. So that is how I organized those. Hi Shannon, Art Junkie. So I'm gonna let her out. We're gonna turn the camera around to face the back, and then we're gonna go to the desk. So I was just sitting on the couch there. Lucy, say bye to everybody. Say bye-bye. So she wants to get out. So we're gonna let her out. See you later, Lou. And we're gonna go over to the desk. Hopefully, just close your eyes if you get seasick. We're gonna go over to the desk here, and I'm gonna put you into my ring light. Can you guys hear me okay? Is my microphone working well? I hope so. Okay, now I can look at chat on my iPad, so it's just gonna take me a second. So I hope everybody's doing well today. Let's see, who did I miss? I think I got everybody that's here so far. And I'm just going to all messages. All right, so this is my newest page in my grid journal. see. There we go. Hi, Ellen. If you want to see Lucy, just fast forward to the beginning. Hi, Michelle. Thank you. I try to clean it up between projects too. So, hi, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie. Yes, well, I do have a room tour if you want to really snoop, but I'm going to try to show little bits every week. Hi, Lexi. Yeah, so this one I just finished these, so I'll bring them up a little closer. That one's kind of like an abstract cityscape. So I'm pretty, I'm not 100% happy with all of them, but in general, I was pretty happy with them. And then last week's, I didn't post this one yet, I just finished it. So this I posted to Instagram and to Facebook. Hi, Diane. Move that over. So that's the one that I finished last week. And then this past week I've been working on this one. So that's done. All right, so today we're going to work on a request by Diane Bell. She requested that we do some negative painting. So what I thought I would do is, oh, I should just show you. When I was doing this one, some of the collage, like the translucent collage pieces, like this here, this part, this pyramid, these shapes here, these shapes, those were all from a long haul I had done while I was playing with one of my first stencil designs called Cityscapes, City Bridges Style 3. So this is a based on my hometown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to make an abstract print. So we're going to flip it around, and hopefully come up with a bunch of colors. And then we're going to paint out the background, which reminds me, I forgot to bring out, I meant to bring up one of my paintings that I had done where I did a reverse painting, but that's okay. And then we're going to use a picture of a plant. This is one of my little plants in my kitchen. So what I did is I traced it onto a file folder, and then I cut it out to create my own mask. So I made it a little bit different than the picture. Like I made this part smaller. I made the pot a little bit bigger than this pot. So that's what we're going to be using for our reverse painting. So that's going to be after we pull the print. Hi, Becky. Now, am I cutting out? Because my iPad is coming in and out, so I just need to know if my Wi-Fi is being problematic. If so, I can switch to data. Becky says that stencil reminds her of the St. Louis Arch. Cool. Yeah, so that's a bridge in Edmonton. I can't remember what it's called. So I have an idea. So I wrote a plan. So my plan is to do random marks. So you don't, for negative painting, you don't have to use a gel plate. You can use any painty papers. And I'm going to do sort of these colors like oranges, blues, and like a teal or green. And then my plan is to do the, I want to call it reverse painting, negative painting, and then add a glaze over the pot and some outlines. And that's my plan. I did this plan on Procreate because it's easy. Once I have this piece, I just have to select it, and then I can copy it, and then I can paste it, and then I just kind of do it that way. Interesting. Okay, well, let me know if it's not all good, and I'll change my phone to data. For some reason, my iPad's skipping around. Hi, Linda. Welcome home. Sorry I missed your live today. So we're going to start with, now orange and these other colors can get muddy. So I think I'll start with the orange and let it dry, and then we'll add the other colors. Maybe we'll start with black. No, we'll start with orange. Okay, well, you guys keep me posted. Oh, I need a roll-off sheet. So Linda, Lucy made a cameo appearance in my video just before we came on. Well, not before we came on, but when we started. Okay, so I don't know. I picked a few backup prints in case this print doesn't work out, but we're just going to play. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to just kind of flip and flop. Flip and flop. I used to call this the shadow technique. So we're just getting different parts of the design. So I'm going to let that dry before I put some other colors. Let me put a piece of paper under here. Yes, so it's one thing I was working on this week, Barbara, was getting my Society of Idea Collectors binder kind of, well, that's dry. I'll just show that to you. I had that on my island. So I was getting my Society of Idea Collectors binder reorganized. Just going to move this here for a second. So this is my Society of Idea Collectors binder. So I have ideas for current videos. So like Diane requested the reverse painting. Sheree requested the masterboard grid thing, so we'll do that. And Sam Jackson requested using a piano roll, so I'm going to see about that. I've got extra paper. And then this is my table of contents. So I have like a little divider. So this was my ideal table of contents, but then I ended up doing just kind of a bit simpler. So things that I like doing, things I want to be doing. So Dee Dee's notes on Society of Idea Collectors, and then different lists. Art Goals 2021. This is sort of a list of things I liked doing that I want to do. All right, am I still okay? Because my iPad is glitching up like crazy. You guys let me know. Am I still okay? And then different lists. Some lists were done at Dee Dee's and I wrote them down. Mind mapping. Check out Dee Dee's Society of Idea Collectors playlist. And then this is quotes and lyrics. And then we have prompts. So I had some prompts from somewhere. I don't even know where those are from. Gel printing. So I have miscellaneous and then botanical ideas, which reminds me, I still haven't done, I told you guys I had an idea to do that vase with the botanical flowers. I still haven't done that video yet, but hopefully I'll get to that soon. And then different mixed media, which is like all encompassing. So I have a lot of mixed media, ideas. Junk journals and glue books, watercolor, acrylic pour. I did some eyes once. I don't really think I'll be doing a lot of acrylic pouring, but I do have a section for that. Lettering, cyanotype. I do want to do some more of that. Draw, sketch, doodle, Zentangle, and then famous artists as inspirations. So that's my current Society of Idea Collectors book, and I thought I'll keep paper there handy. So I won't have this with me. So like putting things on Post-its and then sticking it in is something that Dee Dee recommends. So that's my book. And then once so this would have been at the front of like, videos to do. And then after we do it today, I'll put punch holes in it. I'll date it and I'll put it in the Gelliprinting section. All right, so that's my plan. Now I'm thinking Maybe I'll do white next to really kind of set off some of the orange, just to sort of keep it orange. And let's do metallic white. Thank you, Dee Dee. All right, so we're just gonna be kind of haphazard. So this metallic white I find is quite opaque, which is nice. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of roll. And what we could do too is we could use a piece of paper or something. I like those, something to push down with. Let me just grab something like this, the fun foam with the, just to get a bit more paint out. So I'm not thinking where the plant's gonna go, I'm just gonna go with it. And I think I want a little bit more paint out. So I'm gonna grab a piece of paper. So we want it kind of modeled. We want it, okay. So we're gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna do the green and the blue and black. We will do black next. We just wipe this. Hi, Jackie. Someone pour a toilet tank. Wow. You'd have to varnish that, hey? Otherwise you have a marble bum. Okay, let's get our little fan. Speed up this process. Yeah, don't tell Janet. Janet, people are decorating their toilet seats now. I'm just gonna flip that over to see if it's doing what I'm hoping. So we're gonna have kind of like mottled, I don't know if you guys can see that. Still kind of wet. Oops, wrong way. I think they said the seat. Zen Jan, I think Barbara said the toilet. She saw someone on YouTube do a pour on her toilet tank. Oh, on the tank. Okay, let's do some black. I think this time I'm going to do it over top of this so I don't get too much black. Just going to put a little bit of black. And I think I'm going to pick up a bit of that. Want too much black, so I'm just going to keep going to pick some of it up. It's because some of it's sticking to the stencil. That's pretty good, especially like these little dots, right? Okay, so we'll let that dry. So I haven't, you know, this is we're experimenting together. I haven't practiced this. Yeah, bubble wrap would be good. Okay, so if my stream starts to skip, please, you know, put some emojis in chat because my iPad is not doing well. My iPad keeps skipping, so I don't know. Hopefully that's not my Wi-Fi. Okay, I kind of liked how that did that. So let's put some aqua. We'll do the same idea where we just kind of do like a little bit of the stencil. Then let's grab some off. Okay. We're gonna let that dry. Hi, Anne. Let's see how that's looking. Looking mottled. I like it. The orange is turning a little bit brownish where the aqua is against it, but that is okay because a plant can have brown on it. Hi, Margie. We'll do green next, and then maybe a little bit of this manganese, and then we'll pick it up. Okay, let's do, now the plant's going to be pretty center. Let's do some of these dots in the middle with the green. You like my little fan? I just got it at, I don't remember if it was Dollarama or the dollar store. And I'm just going to use my little brayer for this one. And we're going to flippy floppy. Flippity floppity. Okay. Hi, Ellen. So just because something's like a literal image in a stencil doesn't mean you can't use it for patterns. If you guys watch Sheree Burlington, she used, I sent her some of my stencils, a couple stencils and a couple stamps, and she used them more as a pattern making tool. Or you could do the whole pattern and then rip it up. Like on my little grid collage, it's the whole pattern, but it was ripped up. Okay, let's do, I think I'll do the cyan just because they're both translucent, but I know this dries faster. Well, let's do this one. Okay, and then let's pour it through. Let's pour it through this part here, through the bridge. see. See how it's looking? So it's looking pretty mottled. Like, I think that'll make a cool plant. So we're going to pick it up with white. Let's let that dry. I wish there was, maybe we'll add, there's a few spots. Well, we can just let the white show through, I guess. I'm tempted to add a bit of orange again. Maybe we'll use Diane's bubble wrap idea. We'll just add the orange without taking paint away. We'll just stamp it on just to get a bit more orange in there. So I need something to put the orange on, because we'll want to add instead of subtracting. Oh gosh, it's tight. So hopefully I'll get that video my idea for the vase video. Hopefully I'll do that soon. So let's add, where did my orange go? Here's my orange. Maybe we'll add a bit of yellow to it to make it just a little bit brighter. We'll use that scary yellow we used last time, or two times ago. Or was it last time? I can't remember. No, it was last time. 2 times ago was when we did the vase with the flowers. Sorry, I'm making lots of noise there. So let's just get a nice bright orange. We're just going to spread it out. And we'll just add a bit of orange in here to give it just a little bit more color. So like I said, you don't have to use a gel print to do negative painting. While this is drying, I'll show you a book that Kathy Arbor recommended that I really like, and I did do a video using some of the techniques. Let me just go grab that book. Here, Painting Imaginary Flowers. It's a very cool book. So we're going to put this aside to let dry. So this is that book that Kathy Arbor recommended. Hi, NC. Hi, Sheree. Diane says she's been doing some printing with her King Tut papyrus flowers. Great fun. Awesome. So this is a way, so she does backgrounds and then she does negative painting and doodles, and it's pretty cool. She'll often add doodles and stencils to the table. Should I zoom in a little bit? Let me zoom in a little bit, show you guys this book. So this is by Sandrine Pellissier, and she uses mostly like inky things. So that's an example. So this is negative painting. She often uses white, so she just talks about different ways to do her backgrounds. And then she'll make the flowers in it. It's a really beautiful book, drawing patterns. So she talks about drawing an abstract background, analogous versus complementary colors, split complementary. So we used orange, green, and blue. So we kind of did a split complementary sort of, right? Thanks, Star. So then she drops paint, she makes the, so you don't have to use a gel print. You can do painty papers and then do your, you know, find your areas. I'm going to use my plant that I already have. So it's a really beautiful book. And she makes interesting vase shapes and she adds doodles. So, and then she'll add color to the flowers. She won't necessarily leave them as they were. So see here, she had her flower shapes and then she added some blue into here and then added some doodles. It is a beautiful book. It's very inspiring. Make your painting stand out with patterns, tools for making patterns. Create complex patterns from simple shapes, and then demonstration of translating inspiration to the canvas. So I love red and turquoise together. There's a drawing pen. I want to get one of those ruling pens that Janet uses a lot. Or is she using, actually she's using a nib. That's what she's using there. And then some ideas for patterns. You can use Zentangle, so tanglepatterns.com. You can find lots of patterns. You could use a stencil to do the pattern. Maybe we'll do that today, is we'll use a stencil, a different stencil to make a pattern for the tablecloth. And then how to varnish, how to mount. And then, yeah, I think at the back she has some examples. So here's trees, and she doodled all the trees. Oh yeah, so here's her gallery. So there's some inspiration. She added all these dots. I'm planning to do some doodles on my pot, and then maybe we'll do a stencil on the table. And then some doodles. I like the angular kind of shapes, how it's not traditional flowers. They're more like abstract. I like this kind of pot too. It's interesting that she signs up here, hey? She blocks out in white and then she puts her signature on the white part. So I'm not planning, I don't think I'm gonna do my block out in white, but I haven't decided yet. So let's see how the pole looks. So let's do, still a little bit wet. Let's get our fan out. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's fan this puppy. Hi, Missy. The book was by Sandrine Pellissier, and Dar put the link in for it. I learned about it from Kathy Arbor. Kathy Arbor hasn't been doing videos or streams lately. I did notice that she had her garden in a video, Gardening Artfully or Artfully Gardening. So I haven't looked at that yet, but I will. So please let me know if my stream goes choppy or if I sound choppy. Like I said, my iPad is not is not showing me the stream very smoothly. I'll show you the cover of that book, Missy, too. So here's the cover of it. Painting Imaginary Flowers by Sandrine Pellissier. Okay, that's pretty dry. Let's pick that up. And we're gonna just pick it up with white. And hopefully we'll have enough color on there. I'm just gonna use this, just gonna use a plain white, not the metallic white, if I have enough. Where's my white? I was just using it. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna go this way, and then I'm gonna get my paper ready. You know, I think I'm gonna do cardstock since I'm gonna be adding paint to this afterwards, just to make it just a little bit more. And I'll try to put it on straight, like Art Whisperer 88. Okay. And the other thing, when I was watching Art Whisperer 88, I don't know where he lives, but it must be very humid where he lives because he's got this huge, huge jelly plate. Like it's huge. It's bigger than Big Peggy. And he'll add paint and then he just brayers just slowly back and forth. Just, you know, he just kind of like, yes, I'm just brayering. I'm making it nice and even. Whereas I'm like, I gotta brayer it before it dries. So I had to take my lid off because I didn't have enough paint. I think I have a backup white. I just don't want to grab it. I want to use up this white first. Ugh. This is my workout for today. Whew. Okay, let us brayer that. Oh, I made sure I had a lot of paint. Okay, and just going to just thin it just a little bit so it's not going to take forever to dry. You can see, you can almost see the pattern underneath there. Okay, I'm going to try to put this on straight for a change. Whoops. I had it straight and then I moved at the last second. Okay, and we're going to give that a good smush. Let me just brayer this off a little bit. Barbara's always giving people the finger. Okay, so let that dry. While that's drying, let's pull this onto some tracing paper or something. You can use it in collage sometime. Just grab a little piece of tracing paper. So NC watches him, so she knows what I'm talking about. Like the last time, like his last video, which was super cool, I really loved it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like could he brayer any slower? I felt like Chandler Bing. Could he be any slower? But just so relaxed and oh. Okay, so I'm going to do this on tracing paper. Let's use a translucent color. I do love this fluorescent pink. So it's still a bit wet there, but I'm okay if it smudges a little bit. So I'm noticing doing these grid collages that I tend to like having a little bit of pink or a little bit of red in my pieces. So it's interesting that you can learn things about yourself, about what you like. Just doing art for yourself, not for the views. Barbara, line from Devil Wears Prada, by all means, move at a glacier's pace. Okay, let that dry. So my plan is, I'm hoping to block out in orange and then go over it with another color. That's my plan. Don't think this is quite dry. Let's take a peek. Oh, that's not bad. Let's see. It's not picking up like 100%, but I think enough that we can move forward with our painting. All right, so we have a very, very mottled background. We've got some greens, some oranges, some blues, some aqua. So there's our background. And then the pot, I'm hoping to do like a white glaze over it. So I'm thinking, do I want to go this way or do I want to go this way? So it's really what's showing that's going to be the leaves. I'm feeling that. I don't know why. I just am. So let's use some washi tape to tape down the bottom. Should I zoom out a smidgen? So maybe we'll do, so I'm thinking of orange and then painting the teal green over it. Or we could do the white. I don't know, I don't feel like doing the white. I'm just gonna tape that there. And I'm just going to use a sponge. I'm thinking maybe there's blue on the bottom to make the table, although it's transparent, but that's okay. We'll just have the pattern showing through. Okay, let me get some, I wish this orange was brighter or more opaque. I don't think I have. Let me just check this other section here. We can mix it with the yellow. We'll do that. So I'm going to do orange and yellow. So there's not going to be, I'm not going to leave it orange. I'm going to paint over the orange as well. So orange and a bit of yellow. Hi, Julie Parker. Are you getting ready for work? Just need my mixer. We could do is we could tape the edges to keep a nice white border. That would be something. Let's do that. Let's move that over. Let's tape this down. I'll probably end up just cutting it out later, but it's worth a try. Try to flatten that a little bit. I'll have to get my other tape, I think. So Dee Dee, I loved seeing all your new pan pastels. Loved it. I think what I'll end up doing is my art store probably won't get them for a while up here. So I'll probably just buy them individually as I like. Where's my tape? It's gonna tape off. Here it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a sponge. Let me just, where's my stirrer? Stirrer, where'd you go? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is gonna be our underpainting for the top part. So maybe I'll make a line across for where the table is gonna be. Let's do that. Hi, Lady J. Okay, I need a sponge. Sponges and brushes. There we go. Let's get a little spongy sponge. These are just a sponge from the dollar store. Okay, so maybe I should have done white first. I could always come back and do white. So we're doing the negative painting as requested by Diane Bell, but I'm thinking I'm going to make the pot white. So my plan is to do the orange and then come back with an aqua over top. Aqua's more opaque, and do like a thicker coat of aqua. So I'm not using a lot of paint because I don't want it to seep underneath. And dabbing straight up and down, I'm not wiping. The washi tape, I just thought I would try to keep a nice white border in homage to the Art Whisperer, since I can't keep a white border just by placement. But then I might end up cutting it off, so we'll see. Okay, so we got orange. And then we're gonna do, once that dries, we'll do aqua. And we'll kind of leave like a little halo. I don't know if you guys have seen underpaintings where they use orange and then you just see little bits of the orange peeking through, and I just really like that. And I just cut this shape out of my picture of my plant, and I just kind of altered it a little bit. I used a tracing paper, not tracing paper, transfer, like charcoal transfer paper, to transfer it onto like a file folder, and then I cut it out. So that's what my mask is made from. So now we got to do this part. Let's do this blue. I have to move this tape though. So, and I gotta move this. And then hold it down. Now, I don't know if I can make that nice of a shape. I don't want to tape on here because that paint is still wet. We could just use a paintbrush, perhaps. Where's my water? Excuse my reach, sorry. Just gonna put a bit of water there because I don't have my... So I'm just gonna use the paintbrush to do the line here. It's not perfect, that's okay. And then we can stencil on a shape over top of the blue. So this, excuse me, this blue is very transparent. Excuse me. Need a little bit more. I don't want my pot to move. So when I get close to the pot, I'm trying to go in to out. Just maybe a little bit closer to this edge. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat right now. I'm focusing on getting this paint on here. I just want to use up all the paint that I poured out. I just want to use it up here. Okay, so it's pretty good. I still need to get my pot of water, but I think I'm okay to leave now because I finished that painting part. Can you guys still hear me okay when I walk away from the camera? Hi, Nanamo. What did Jen say? Using cardstock as a mask on the jelly plate did not go well. Art Whisperer used cardstock. I've seen people use file folders better, so that's pretty good. I'm wondering, I was gonna outline it with black. Maybe we'll go ahead and do that next. Use my picture as a reference. So I'm just going to use a black Posca. So we're going to paint the pot in white, I think. So I'm going to use this. So this leaf is in front. This leaf is... So I'm gonna, there's a leaf here. This leaf is in front of all of them. So I'm gonna do this one first. I'm gonna try to just be bold, and if it's not perfect, that's okay. And then next we're gonna do, there's one here, but I don't know. This one's next. We should maybe do that one. So we'll do that one. Like that. And then we're going to do this one next. And then we're going to do this big one on the side here. I think once I paint the aqua on the background, we'll get a better idea. Then we're going to do this one's in front. Actually, this one is in front more, so I'm going to do this one here. Okay, let's go over to this side. So this one here is in front. But it goes down like that. And then this one is next. I did omit a few of the leaves. It's hard. The picture's a little bit dark. Let's do that. And then this one actually finishes like that. This one here. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat. I am drawing my leaves. This one's behind. This one's behind. And then last but not least, we got this one here. And it's letting my orange dry too, because I don't want to, I don't really want the orange and the, I might outline the pot in white since we're going to paint it out in white. Where's my white Posca? Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for popping in. Oh, that's black. Let's do the white. So this white is very pale. Let's go ahead and paint that white out. Let's get our little palette here and the white, white. And then I'm going to draw some designs on it too, I think. But we're going to do not solid white, we're going to do like a glaze. I need to get out my fresh white. Bye, Becky. Okay, so some white paintbrush. And we could put a bit of this slow dry medium. And give it a little stir. Hope you guys are having fun. I'm enjoying this. We could do maybe we'll use this tool when we're putting our pattern on it. 30 degrees. Wow. That'd be cold. And then I was hoping to do a doodle in black, but we'll do the doodle last because maybe we'll change our color once we see everything else. This brush is a little big, but that's okay. So that's good for first layer. It might, we'll see how it looks once we have that, the background done. Okay, so now I'm going to use turquoise, and I think, just thinking, maybe I'll use, when I say turquoise, I mean anything between a teal and an aqua. That's what I mean by turquoise. So I think I want a little bit darker than that. I thought I had bought like a, we'll add turquoise. Well, I don't want it too much like that color. Maybe we'll use this and white. Hi, Deb. Bye, Deb. Sorry, I missed you. Okay, so I'm definitely going to put a bit of this slow dry medium in this, and I'm going to put a bit of white because I want it quite bright and opaque. I'm hoping this is going to help the leaves pop out more. It's my So we're going to paint this by hand. I'm not going to use the mask. I'm going to use a paintbrush. So I'm going to be here next week, but the week after that, I'm going to be going on vacation. So I won't be here the following week. And I can redo some of those black lines if I need to. So I'm trying to not fully cover the orange. I want just a little bit to peek out. Hard part is the right up next to the leaves. I don't want to. Definitely need a smaller paintbrush there. If I decide I don't like the orange peeking through, I can always come back and do another coat. Hi, April. Let's use this little brush here to get into these spots. So this is called Negative Painting. A lot of variations. I'm not, obviously I'm not the inventor of this. I showed a book that Kathy Arbor recommended that I quite like. Want it a bit brighter. I'm definitely more comfortable painting plants than flowers, personally. I think we need to do quite bold, thick color around the plant and then let it maybe fade out to showing the orange more on the outskirts. Just so we get like a lot of that contrast. Okay, y'all still with the tour? Okay, let's get this in here. So I tried to mix up enough paint so I wouldn't have to mix and match the color. So I think we're doing okay paint-wise in terms of amount here. And then also adding that slow dry gives me the opportunity to actually use the paint. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to try to disable that and see. I didn't know we had that in my streams. I did not set that to happen. The darn YouTube. Oops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay, we're getting there. Ah, did it again. Now you could, excuse me, you could just do a collage. To do the leaves, so I could use painty paper and I could collage them on top of a background. I think the point of the book that I showed is to not have a pre-planned plant, like to use the background to inspire. I don't want to get rid of too much of that orange, but I do want to have contrast. I feel like I need the brush strokes in here to be more horizontal and vertical. And I think we can use the Posca again after to just kind of thicken up those lines, or we could add some shading using the Inktense pencils. What do you guys think? Do you think it's okay so far? I like that pop of orange, and I like those. This might be a bit too much there. Okay, so on here, oh, I have to sneeze. I'm gonna take my mic off this time. Excuse me. Ah. Okay, so we could do, I feel like the pot actually needs a black outline. And we're going to do some doodles. So this was the doodles I was planning to do. I wonder, I think we need a thicker black though. think I need that to go a little closer. Thank you, Laura. Hope that sneeze wasn't too loud for you guys. There's a bit too much water in that paintbrush right now. Let's do that. It's hard when you're streaming live to sort of take a step back. So sometimes, like when I work on those grid collages that I've been obsessed with, I don't do it all in one sitting. Like I come back to it, especially if I get stuck on a part. Okay, so I'm gonna heat gun this for a second. I think I'm gonna get a thicker black marker for the designs, and I'm gonna use a baby wipe to kind of smush them out so they're not too pronounced. Now I find the Sharpie black it stays in place maybe a bit too much. So I would like to use a Posca paint pen instead. I find that I'm able to kind of pull some away easier. We'll come back to the leaves in a second. Okay, so I was thinking some swirly cues, and then just use that to kind of smudge them a little bit. Oh, this one's almost done. Oh, I think I'll have to use my little black one instead. I don't want them too perfect. So I'm just kind of smudging them a little bit. You guys can see that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, and then let's do a pattern. I'm going to look for stencil to do a pattern on the tablecloth. Something not florally, not, oh, we could use this one. Something, would that work? No, I don't think so, not that one. Ooh, maybe this one. This one is Diamond Rings by Eddie Makes Art. I think that would be okay. Now, do I want to do turquoise or do I want to do white? So I'm gonna do that. Or we could do black. Let me just get some inspiration from this book here for her tablecloths. She kind of matched it to the we could do aqua, and then if we don't like it, I can go over it with white. Hi, tell them, Tina. My paint is drying, so could do is we could just outline it with the white if we don't like it. It's not bad. I'm gonna just add a little bit more here. It's subtle. I don't mind that actually. I'm just gonna add, I think I need a little bit more here. Get my baby wipe. Hi Pam, Ginger Cat Lady. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's outline the leaves a bit more. How are we doing for time? We're doing okay for time. And then I think I'll take the border off just so we can look at it better. We can add a bit of shading. So obviously this isn't meant to be realistic. Sorry, I can't really see chat too much. I'm having trouble deciding if I should outline the pot in black. I'm feeling like I shouldn't, but I almost feel like where the leaves meet the pot should be black. So when I'm done the leaves, I'll stop and I'll look at chat. You guys tell me if you think I should outline the pot in black or just leave it white. I'm tempted to leave it white. And then we can add some shading with Inktense pencils. Okay, let's take this off here. Hi, Jackie. Just going to heat up that tape, this painter's tape at the top. Tends to tear. But the washi tape comes off pretty good. Okay, I'm going to trim it and put it on top of a black cardstock so we can look at it. I'll just zoom you guys out a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to trim, try to square it up. It's a very thin, I didn't have it very centered, so the outline's going to be pretty thin, like the white outline. And then we'll put it on black and see how it looks. And then we can add maybe some more doodles or who knows. So this was for Diane Bell. I think I'm going to add some shading. Let's grab cardstock here. So that's kind of where we're at. Let me move this out of the way. Excuse me. Let's grab we could do the shading with a Pitt pen or with a Inktense pencil, but let's maybe do, is that going to be too dark? Maybe we just do a bit of shading here at the top. There. I like that better. And we'll just do a little bit of shading, just very subtle. Just enhance those like overlaps. So Pitt pen is India ink. This is not black, it's a cool gray, number 5. So I'm just doing a bit of subtle shading because I don't want to lose those bright colors that we have in there. I'm just using my finger to smudge it. So I think here, whoops. Okay. Let's look. I'm just going to pull this thing too. So that can be used in some collage. That's our leftover paint. Now let's look at this other book to see if we can get, whoops, sorry, some more inspiration. Where did that book go? I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more so you guys can see the whole thing. Here it is. Okay, so we added some texture to the tablecloth. We added some design to the pot. We should add a shadow. I think we should add a shadow for the pot here. Let's use our Pit pen and let's just ground that pot a little bit more. Okay. Let's see what people are saying. The shade, you like the you think the shading made a difference there? I hope so. It's very subtle. Let's see. We could add shading to the pot too, but I'm just going to look at her. She leaves her pots quite flat. She doesn't add a lot of shading here. She doesn't add any doodles to the background. She just leaves them white. But I think I like the blue background. I like that. I don't think I want to add any dots or any drawing on the leaves themselves. I like how the pot looks kind of like a terracotta pot. I don't know, I feel like that's kind of done. Here, I'll bring you in for a close-up. So it kind of has like a plastery old wall feeling. Not perfect. Ooh, oomph. I like the definition of oomph. I like that I outlined the plant in the black. And I like the subtleness of the tablecloth and that it's not a frilly pattern. Dan thinks I should add a bit of shading to the pot. Okay. I think for that though, I'll use the Inktense pencils. And instead of using like a purple or a black, I'll add like a deep indigo. So we have like I kind of put the shadow that way so we can add just a bit of shading here on this side of the pot. And then we'll activate that with some water. I don't have a water brush. Let's use just a paintbrush. I'm going to just turn this over here for a second. Add the shading. There we go. Just a bit of shading there. We could add a bit more white on that edge here. I can get this Posca to work. Hi, Beth. Hi, Utah. So there's the shading on the pot. I like how you can kind of see the pattern through it. I like on the bottom how you can see a bit of the pattern from our original. Just gives it that complexity, and then keeping the top very simple with just pops of orange peeking through, just so your eye can like rest and kind of focus down on that plant. So yeah, let's see. We have, oh, that's about it. We'll have about 20 minutes left. Let me go grab, I was going to show you the painting I did based on that book, and there's a video for it. I'm just going to run downstairs and I'll just go grab it. I meant to show you guys before. So you don't have to use like an actual plant. You could draw your own, you know, what comes to you from the background. That's what she does in the book. I'm just grabbing this painting that I did. And this I did, there's a video for it. And I outlined the leaves in gold and I added a lot of shading. On this one, the pot I actually collaged in because I didn't like, I wanted more contrast for the pot. So this is the one that I did. You can tell what my favorite color is, but I did a video for this one and the background was all more of this green color. And then I did that outlining and then I added blue paint to a lot of the flower parts. I added shading with Intense pencils. I added that gold from the Chiron, it's a Krylon pen, this Krylon gold. And I did some scratching into the painting in the back. This is a little stencil. I wrapped it around the edges. So I brought the design to the edges. So there's a video of this one. This one's on a canvas that is what size is this canvas? It is 12 by 12. 12 by 12 canvas, so not too overwhelming. And then this was a gel print that I cut, so there's actually, it's cut here. I cut out the shapes for the leaves, but I did use the background as the inspiration for where to draw the leaves and the flowers. So if you want to check out that video, I will link it. So that's another example of the negative painting. So painting the space around something to create your image. And then the leaves on here, added shading underneath. So I think that's pretty much all I was gonna do. I'll show you, this was my grid collage that I did this past week. So I have to take photos of that and post to Instagram. I feel weird posting to Instagram and Facebook. I don't know. I feel like I should post different things to different spots. I don't like inundate people. So I'm enjoying these grid collages, inspired by, I would say, Jackie Bernardi, Jacki Schomberg, Sheree Burlington, Chris Loud. So I'm trying different styles to see what I like. One of the things I like is I like hearing my husband's interpretation of things, because he's very representative. Not everyone's on Facebook, that's true. Well, you're welcome, Diane. Thank you for the suggestion. So for example, my husband, he thought this was a pillow and a bed and a porthole, looking into space. He thought, he saw a lady with a dress. And then this one, he saw like a lady putting her arms up. And then with the bed, I said, oh, it looks like a TV to me. I thought maybe that looked like a TV. He said, this is like a 3D film, like a theater. He thought this looked like seeds in the ground growing up. I thought that was kind of cool. How much is paper versus paint? On this one, on this page, this is all paint. There's no collage on this one. Hi, Belinda. On this one, the collage, these dark pieces are collage. All these really harsh lines are collage. A lot of collage on this one. So there's transparent collage, and there's like barrier offs that I painted, that I cut out. So these have a lot of collage. This doesn't have, oh, this has collage. There's some collage in here. Like this piece here, that's a piece of collage. So this one has a little bit of collage, but it's very plain collage. This one has no collage. This one, all these dark purple pieces are collage. And this is a piece of a gel print. So all these dark purple, those are pieces of collage. This has no collage, I don't think. Does it? I have to sort of feel it. No collage on that one. So I don't know what, I'm looking for my style. I'm kind of like, I like doing so many different things that I don't know if I'll ever have a style. And I don't know if I'll ever be like amazing at anything. But to me, I think what my goal is to have fun. and to enjoy painting, enjoy mixed media, especially. Yeah, I should sign this. Let me sign this, and I'm not going to sign it up here like Sabine does, although I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm going to use my black Sharpie pen to sign. I like signing in the corner, and I like putting the month and the year. So here I just put the year on this one. I think this one I'll put I think I'll sign it. I kind of like signing on the right hand side. I'm just going to sign it here. Oh, I decided, I guess I just did the year, 2025. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll go back with a white pen if I find it's not showing enough. And I'll just kind of go over it. It's not liking it. There. So I might frame that one. I don't frame a lot of my pieces, but I'll take a picture of it. I might want to put it in my little portfolio book. Oh, I'm glad I took your mind off the heat, Diane. So Yuda, I think that, yeah, that answered your question. Good, good. So I'll put this in my little folder. I could maybe do a series. I'll put this in my idea book with my my plan. So this was the plan. So I'll punch 3 holes, and I'll put this in my Society of Idea Collectors book, and I'll write did on live stream. What's the date? July 16th, 25. And then I might, you know, maybe see that another day and it'll spark an idea, maybe do something slightly different. So I was happy to use my stencil, this Bridges, what's it called? Bridges Scene Style 3. I think this needs a bit of a wash now, but so this is the stencil I used to make the painty background, except for the orange circles were with the bubble wrap. Yeah. The double Jackies are very inspirational. Yes, they are. And they did a live stream together, which was pretty cool. All right, so I think I'm going to let you guys go a bit early. Shannon, Art Junkie, are you streaming today at 5:15 before I sign off? Yes, you are. Excellent. So check out Shannon, Art Junkie. And next week, I'll be here. The week after, I will be away. But yeah, so thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for watching the replay if you made it this far. And if you want to see Lucy live, check out the beginning. If you missed the beginning, I did a little face-to-face and fur face-to-face. Talked a little bit about organizing before we came and did our project for today. yeah, so I'm going to go have some lunch and clean up. I'll probably have lunch and then clean up. And then I might see you over at Shannon Art Junkies. And then I'll usually wait till it's a bit cooler before I take Lucy for her walk. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you, Diane, for the request. I had fun doing this. I definitely could see doing this again. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And have a great, great day. Have a great weekend. Keep your chin up. Keep positive. Do something that, if you're hot or you're bothered by something, do something creative to take your mind off of things. And have a great, great evening. Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Bye.